What's up, everyone? It's Bones here. I'd like to begin this video by giving a huge shout out to TCG Player for the opportunity to be a part of their affiliate program. If you want to help a content creator out, all you have to do is click on the TCG Player link down below, and it won't cost you anything either. In today's video, I want to start off a series where I take topping deck lists and show off some combos and review the list myself. My sources will always be in the description as I take no credit for anything that these players accomplished. To start, I want to show off the two most important main deck monsters in my opinion, Stardust Synchron and the Bystial Lubellion, and we're going to use the effect of Lubellion to add ourselves the Magna Hut, then we can normal summon the Stardust Synchron, get ourselves the Arrive in Light, which if you don't know what it does, it's a continuous spell that reads, when this card is activated, place one level 1 dragon monster from your hand or deck on top of the deck. Neither player can return Stardust Dragon or a Synchro monster that lists Stardust Dragon in its text from the field to the extra deck. If a Synchro monster is special summoned, except during the damage step, you can apply one of these effects, but you cannot apply that same effect of Arrive in Light again this turn. Draw one card, special summon one tuner from your hand. We're going to continue here by activating the Arrive in Light, and that'll place the Will's Dragon on top of the deck, as we'll then be able to use the effect of Magna Hut, special summoning itself, banishing the Lubellion, use its effect on field, as we'll then bring out our Dispatter, triggering the Arrive in Light, get ourselves the Will's Dragon, and because we control the Dispatter, which is a level 8 or higher Synchro Dragon monster, we can end up using the second effect of the Converging Will's Dragon, which is to special summon one level 1 dragon monster from your deck. And it's important to note that when you special summon the Wills off of its own effect after drawing it, you can only do that once per turn. You can also only special summon Wills in general once per turn, but we'll then be able to bring out our Samsara Dragon, and the Samsara Dragon is important not for its first effect, but the second one in the graveyard. As we're going to bring back the Stardust Synchron, we can then use the effect of the Samsara banishing itself, get back the Magna Hut or any other level 5 or higher dragon monster in your graveyard to the hand, then you can immediately tribute summon for it, as we'll banish the Stardust Synchron off the tribute summon for the Magna Hut so that we can special summon it back off of the Dispatter. Then we have access to a level 10 Synchro, making our first Omni Negate with the Baron, and then we can go into our Majestic, which will be another Omni Negate for our opponent. The entire idea of what you want to do here is get your Omni Negates paired with your Runick quick plays, along with potential Bystial hand trap, in order to just amass a ton of interruptions for your opponent's turn. Now, I'm going to read over the Shooting Majestic Star Dragon in case you don't know what it does, but it takes Majestic Dragon plus 1 non-tuner monsters, including a Dragon Synchro monster, must first be Synchro summoned. Once per turn, you can negate the effects of one effect monster your opponent controls. This card gains 1 additional attack each battle phase for every monster in your graveyard that is Stardust Dragon, or is a Synchro monster with Stardust Dragon in its text. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can banish this card until the end phase, and if you do, negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. So from here, we'll then be able to go to the end phase where we'll get the search for Magna Hut for the Bystial, giving us 3 interruptions off of just those 2 cards. Now, this second combo features another really cool card that's in this deck, Back Mutation or Mutamorphosis, and we're going to start here by using the effect of the Lubellion, which will be able to grab ourselves a Magna Hut again. Then we can use the effect of the Runick Slumber in order to get ourselves into the Gary. Then we'll activate the Mutamorphosis, which reads, tribute 1 fusion or Synchro monster, special summon 1 monster from your deck with the same level as the tributed monster's original level, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only activate 1 Mutamorphosis per turn. We're going to be able to tribute the Jerry off for the Stardust Synchron, as we'll then be able to use the Stardust Synchron, get ourselves the Arrive in Light, use the effect of the Arrive in Light for the Wills again, as we'll then be able to special summon out the Magna Hut with its own effect banishing the Jerry, use its effect on field, go into the Dispatter again as we'll use the Arrive in Light. This will get us the Will's Dragon on board along with the Samsara Dragon. We'll then be able to use the effect of the Stardust Synchron, get itself back, as we'll use the effect of the Samsara to get back the Bystial Magna Hut, then immediately tribute summon for it, as we'll use the effect of the Dispatter to bring back the Stardust Synchron, go into our Baron, then go into our Majestic, then go onto the end phase where we'll be able to search for the Druis Worm, giving us that third disruption for our opponent's turn. Now, for this third combo, I want to feature a different iteration of the last one where instead of Lubellion, we open the Stardust Synchron, and we're going to start here with the Runick Slumber, getting ourselves the Hugin, then normal summon the Stardust Synchron so that we can get ourselves a copy of Arrive in Light. We can then go into the Altergeist, drag Virion, or however you pronounce this. It's a level 6 Synchro that reads, it takes 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner monsters. When an opponent's special summon monster declares an attack, you can return 1 Altergeist monster you control to the hand, negate that attack. That doesn't matter in this deck, but if this card is tributed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Altergeist twice, drag once per turn. Now, this is the important effect that the card has because we can tribute it off Metamorphosis, bring out the Saronir, and then revive it, which is just really nice as it brings an extra body for us to use as synchro material or even link material depending on what you're doing. But we're then going to be able to bring back our Stardust Synchron, activate the Arrive in Light, as we'll then be able to put the Wills on top of the deck, go into our Dispatter, use the effect of the Arrive in Light along with the Saronir, which you want to use as Chainlink too, so that your Wills goes through because it is a win effect. But we'll then be able to use the effect of the Wills, as we'll then get the Samsara, then we'll be able to use the effect of the Dispatter. From here, we'll then be able to go into our Shooting Majestic, go into our Axel Synchron. From here, we can then use the effect of Axel Synchron, putting the Assault Synchron in the graveyard. And I show this because if you do have Assault Synchron in the graveyard along with some other setup, then you can get the Bystial Lubellion tribute off the Dispatter and just continue to combo via that. You'll also be able to revive the Dispatter off the Assault Synchron, get Branded Regained or Beast and whatnot, but we'll then be able to use the effect of the Samsara getting back to Saronir, the Axel Synchron to bring back Lubellion, so then we'll be able to use the Lubellion getting our Branded Beast, and from here we can pass on to our opponent. Now, for this next combo, we have Assault Synchron featuring Runick Slumber and the Magna Hut, and this combo is going to take a little bit of a different approach because now we have level 5 access via the Axel Synchron, or the Assault Synchron, and you saw the Axel Synchron has the ability to Foolish a monster, which means that we can Foolish our Stardust Synchron, and this is a nice way to get into your plays, as we'll be able to revive the Stardust Synchron off tributing the Axel Synchron, use its effect to get the Arrive in Light, we'll then activate the Arrive in Light, as we'll be able to put the Wills on top of the deck, activate the Magna Hut, banishing the Axel, use the effect of the Magna Hut. From here, we'll then be able to go into our Dispatter, use the Arrive in Light, get our Wills in order to special summon it, then we can special summon out the Samsara, use the effect of the Dispatter in order to bring back the Axel. From here, we can go into our Shooting, use the effect of Axel, which will raise the Axel to level 9 so that we can then synchro it away for Baron, and I thought that was really cool. But then we can use the effect of the Samsara to get back the Bystial Magna Hut. We won't use its effect to tribute summon, so we'll only get it to hand as it is optional. From here, we can then go on to the end phase where we'll be able to get another Bystial, giving us 4 disruptions for our opponent's turn. Now, this next combo features Lubellion plus Assault Synchron and Slumber, and you'll see that a lot of the ways that we get to combo here are very similar, and it's because we don't play a high monster count at all, and there's really not many starters. It's just a very toolboxy deck where you either open your Runick stuff. If you open a combination of both, then you kind of have to piece the levels together in order to get you into your next play, or depending on the hand, you may even have to wait until you draw into other combo pieces to help you combo. But we're then going to be able to go into our Axel. As you saw last time, we can send the Stardust Synchron, giving us access into the Wills, and then because we have the Bystial Lubellion in hand, we have the access to what we had in the first combo, except this time around we have the Assault Synchron in the graveyard, which will allow us to extend a little bit further, especially since we have the Axel Synchron now banished as well. But we're going to activate the Arrive in Light, put the Wills Dragon on top of the deck, go into the Dispatter, use the effect of the Arrive in Light, we'll then be able to special summon out the Wills along with the Samsara, then use the effect of the Dispatter, which will bring back the Axel. Here we can use the Axel, manipulate its level, making it level 9, as you do want to make yourself a Biru or whatever proof, or just hand trap proof really in general, before bringing out your Lubellion, as you do tribute the Dispatter, and then we'll be able to bring back the Dispatter via the Assault Synchron. Now we can use the effect of the Bystial Lubellion to get ourselves the Branded Beast. Then we can go into our Shooting Majestic Dragon, giving us 2 Omni Negates. We also have the Lubellion along with the Branded Beast, which gives us a pop. Then we can use the effect of the Samsara, giving us a Bystial, go on to the end phase, where we'll be able to add yet another Bystial, giving us a total of 5 disruptions for our opponent's turn. And I want to do a test hand, as the deck really does a lot of the same stuff. It's just about how you get there that can be kind of different. And we're going to start here by activating the Runick tip. I am going to choose a combo with this hand instead of playing it more conservatively, because you can technically just use the effect of Lubellion, combo with back mutation and the Runick tip, much like you saw our previous combo, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use the hand to its maximum capacity. We're going to activate the tuning, getting ourselves the Assault Synchron, we'll then be able to use the effect of Lubellion, getting ourselves the Magna Hut, activate the Runick Fountain. We'll then be able to activate the Freezing Curse, which again, you can either keep it or use it. We'll then be able to get ourselves a draw 3, since we did happen to mill a Runick Quick Play off of the tuning. Then we're going to activate the Branded Regained, as we do draw that. Metamorphosis in order to tribute tribute off the Jerry so that we can get our Stardust Synchron. Then we can use the effect of the Stardust Synchron in order to get our Arrive in Light so that we can then use the Magna Hut special summon itself, as we'll then be able to get the on-field effect, activate the Arrive in Light in order to get our Wills on top of the deck, then use the effect of the Runick Slumber, just bring out the Hugin, go into the Dispatter, as we'll then be able to activate the Arrive in Light. She'll summon out the Wills along with the Brotar this time around, and this will give us the ability to get the search for another Bystial. We also pitch the Assault Synchron, giving us the Assault Synchron plus the Lubellion Engrave, as we're going to tribute off the Brotar for the Synchron, then go into our Altergeist Synchro, use the effect of the Dispatter to bring back Stardust Synchron so that we can then go into our Baron, bring back Lubellion, as we'll then be able to use the effect of Assault Synchron, bringing back the Dispatter, use the effect of Regained, the Assault Synchron back in deck and get a draw, go into the shooting, use the effect of Arrive in Light to special summon out a Synchron, as we'll then be able to use the effect of the Ended Beast, and then from here, because we special summoned the Arrive in Light, we have the opportunity to use the effect of the Bystial Saronir to special summon itself, and in this case I'm just going to go into the Ruddy Rose. You can use any other level 10 you would like to. There's also Chengying and other stuff that you can make, just picking any level 10. That said, I just wanted to show that you could special summon the extra, or synchro summon the extra level 10. And with this, we can then go on to the end phase after using the effect of the Saronir to send the Lubellion, get the search off of Magna Hut for the Bystial Baldrake. This will make our board stronger, just with the ability to have that Baldrake disruption, have the potential to get the send off the Druis Worm along with their DD Crow-like effects for Dark and Light monsters, even though it's not the strongest in Fire format. That said, we also have the Branded Beast, the 2 Omni Negates. If you summon out Chengying or any other level 10 other than Ruddy, then you have that effect as well. But with that, I'll take you on to the deck profile. So onto the deck list, you'll see that he's actually not on the Branded Beast that I was showing throughout the video, and it's because I just wanted to show that you can get that extra disruption if you do want to play it over something like the second Branded Regained or even the Called by the Grave. He's only on 2 back mutation, which I guess makes sense because you don't want to see duplicates of it. The Runick count is about the same as most decks where you have the 3 of everything except the 1 Dispelling and the 2 Fountains. A lot of lists will also play the Storm instead of something like maybe Called by. You'll see that there's only 2 Lubellions, which I thought was interesting as well, because as stated, I feel it is one of the most important cards the deck has. That said, there is a chance that you can maybe replace a 3rd one for the Baldrake if you would like to. I understand also wanting to play the 4th name though. Then there's also the 3 Stardust Synchron, which I also would like to mention is a little bit interesting in my opinion because the sphere modes in the extra deck kind of scares me. I know that it's only a 3 of that you may not normal summon all too often, but there are combos where you saw like the first combo where you do have to use the normal summon for it. There's also stuff like Pankratops that you can play here, the 2 Bystials in the side deck along with the Mudora and the Keldo. Just a bunch of graveyard hate like we're seeing for Fire format, the Bystial stuff for the Linkuriboh interactions so that they can't get into their SP with the Link monster, etc. But then there's also the 3 Cosmics and the 3 Econs, which are just naturally really strong this format. The extra deck is a little bit interesting because of the Altergeist card. You see the Ruddy Rose here, just more graveyard hate. Then there's also the Spheres and the SP as his 2 Link monsters of choice, which I think is perfectly fine. The Runick count is also interesting because it's just all for levels in order to get you into synchro summoning and doesn't really care about the Sleipnir. We then have the toolbox of our synchro monsters here, rather the level 10s where we have the Baron, the Ruddy, the Dispatter, the Chengying, most of which you really are making, the Shooting, which you kind of always go for, the Stardust Axel, something else that you can make really easily with something like Assault Synchron and a Bystial, or even if you already have the Assault Synchron in the graveyard, you can just make it with the Jerry along with the Stardust Synchron. But then we also have the Coral Dragon, which is just another level 6 that you can make. I also would like to mention that there is some potential plays here that you can make with the Crimson Dragon that I was noticing while I was doing some of my testing, as sometimes you just have access into a level 8 Synchro that you can turn into the Crimson Dragon with the Stardust Synchron, and then you can just use it on whatever level 10 you summon in order to bring out something like the Dispatter or the Ruddy Rose if you even want to bring that out. But outside of that, I don't have too much else to say that wasn't shown within the deck list. I feel like when you're not playing the combo version version of this deck when you see the Stardust Synchron or the back mutation or your tunings, then you're just really playing Runick. You do play some one-ofs that can be kind of scary, the Converging Wills along with the Arrive in Light and the Omni Dragon Brotar. I guess Arrive in Light isn't too bad because you can just use its effect, but at the same time, I don't think it's a card that you really want to see. Still a really cool deck overall that can do some really cool things and is probably one of the more unique ones along the Runick list that I've seen, just because its lines of play not just straightforward but also very different because of how toolboxy it is and how you can get there. But with that, I'll just take you on to the card by card, and we have the 3 Stardust Synchron, we then have the 2 Lubellion and the 1 Magna Hut, the 1 Druis Worm, the 1 Baldrake, the 1 Saronir, the 3 Slumber, the Arrive in Light, the Dispelling, the 2 copies of Fountain, the 1 Assault Synchron, the 1 Brotar, the 1 Samsara, the 1 Wills, the 2 Regain, the 3 Tuning, we then have the 2 Metamorphosis along with the Called By, we then have the 3 Flames, the 3 Destruction, the 3 Freezing Curse, and the 3 Tip to round out the main deck. Onto the extra deck, we have the Axel Synchron, the Altergeist Synchro, we then have the Coral Dragon, Stardust Axel, we then have the Baron, Ruddy, Dispatter, Cheng Ying, we have the Shooting Majestic, Jerry, we then have the Munin, Hugin, we then have the 1 copy of the SP Little Knight, Heals, we then have the side deck that has the 3 Sphere Mode, the 2 Pankratops, the 1 Baldrake, the 1 Druis Worm, the 1 Mudora, the 1 Keldo, the 3 Cosmic Cyclone, and the 3 enemy controllers to wrap up the deck profile. So for everyone who's made it this far, I'd like to thank you for watching and for the 700 plus subscribers. I truly appreciate your support, and now that we've monetized the channel, giving us access to supers and memberships means that more awesome stuff is on the horizon. To get the channel membership, just click on the description below and there will be a link that takes you there. You'll also notice a free Discord link that I've made for us too. If you want to support me as a content creator, even if you can't donate supers or get a membership for the channel, clicking on those thumbs up and subscribe buttons help a lot too. For those wondering, I do plan on making updates to the channel as the support on the channel grows. Anyways, I hope to see you on the next one. It's Bones, signing out.